Day 12. Morning routines suck, but we're going to get better at them anyway. Whew. This morning I woke up and I knew I'm always dehydrated, but I was actually craving my little electrolyte mix. And sometimes I kind of put it off for a while, hydrating. I don't know why. I just wake up and I'm just like a zombie. Like I just sit there like this for the longest time. And this whole process is not about getting up really significantly earlier. It's just about getting up and starting. But three things we're going to do as soon as we wake up. We're always chronically dehydrated. So I got my 16 ounces of water. You get plenty of microplastics in this, so don't worry. And I can't afford the electrolyte packets. So what I'm doing is I'm using pink Himalayan salt. This used to be Redmond's. Redmond's salt is like delicious. I can actually taste the difference when I put it on my food or I cook with it. This is just like a cheap version I got at Walmart and replaced in the Redmond. So I'm just using my imagination really that it's Redmond's. We're going to take a quarter tablespoon, drop it right into the water, shake it up, throw it back. After we hydrate, we're going right into some physical activity. For me, it's doing push-ups. Not doing any push-ups to build any kind of muscle. This is just for blood flow to wake me up. With the blood coming into the muscle, so is oxygen. We need oxygen into the brain to clear the mental fog from our sleep. So that's the science behind the process. I used to get these electrolyte tablets from Amazon called Thermotabs, and they supplied about the same amount of salt. It was about 500 milligrams. I ran out of money. I can't afford those packs like I was talking about. So this is a really good second place way to rehydrate and to get some salts and electrolytes back in your body. Every day there's always some left, and I always freak out about trying to get it. Ah, oh, oh, yeah, I definitely got that last bit of salt there. Oh, at the end. It definitely changes up the way the water tastes with the amount that we're putting in. But I'm putting that much in because I've just through trial and error discovered that I need that much or I'm gonna be peeing all morning. Because I am gonna drink like my morning coffee, which I usually just drink either black coffee or a Ghost energy drink. Those Ghost energy drinks are so addictive, and I pee like nonstop when I drink one. But oh my gosh, when that carbonation hits, I can just feel like the redness from my eyes going away. But I'm rambling. I'm trying to delay these push-ups, but get right into it, get the blood flow going. This is a little bit like active recovery for me because I did chest yesterday and it's actually pretty sore. So this blood flow that I'm driving into the pecs is actually feeling really good and taking care of some of that lactic acid. Man, check out this chest pump, boy. What do you do when you get really good advice from someone who is generally considered by you and others to be a piece of shit? I liken this situation to eating like a really good chicken wing. The flavor's good, you're going at it, but you can't eat the bone. You can get the meat and all the flavor, even the nutrition from the chicken wing, but at some point you got to spit the bone out. It's perfect. And number two, if we throw out everybody's message because of their lifestyle or something we don't like, we're never going to get advice that we can use really from anybody at all. When I grew up in a super strict religious environment. It was all about their version of the Bible and how you were supposed to follow it. I was a little kid and I grew up in this until I was like 16. But one thing that I realized fairly early on was I can't take this whole entire Bible and chunk it into the trash just because a bunch of crotchety old white men were telling me stuff that just wasn't true. They would take a verse and use this verse to fit a narrative. So I could have been someone who grew up and just became extremely anti-God, anti-religion, but that didn't happen because I was able to see, even as a little kid, see the value in some of the stuff that was there. I just didn't see any value in the actual messenger. The message, the message could be okay, but we've got to understand that messenger is 100% flawed 100% of the time. They're human. We got to keep that we got to take that into consideration. It's kind of like casting pearls before swine. But in my case, it's like getting pearls from swine. You got to realize you're talking to a pig. Now this pig is giving you valuable information and you can use this, but ultimately he's a pig. But it brings me to a formula that I came on probably through my social media research. It's called be, do, and have. It's a three-part formula. Now, the be part is your identity. The do part is the actions that you take as a result of that identity. And the have part is the blessings. It's the end result. It's the goal that you want to get to. So it's identity, it's action, and it's outcome. Be, do, have. But so many times in life, we're trying to convince other people of our actions and who we are through what we do. So instead of establishing our identity and who it is we are, our purpose, and why we're here, we do these things, these actions to convince people of who we are, and then we expect to get an outcome, the blessings, the have. But that's backwards. This is a flawed formula. So, my challenge to myself is to dwell on my identity first. And if you don't have an identity, you have to build an identity up. You have to identify your purpose. You have to develop yourself. Once you establish a strong enough sense of identity, then you will have actions that flow from this identity. These actions are going to be natural, sincere, authentic, and these actions will lead you into your future potential. This is the potential that has your blessings. It has all the, it's your potential that receives the end result, the goal that you are working towards. But self development, if you don't know where to start, that's always going to be paramount. Number one thing you should always do if you're confused, if you don't know where to start, you start with yourself. This applies to religion, to life, but especially like in a church environment. That's huge. So many people don't understand or have never figured out who they are, but they're running around doing all of these things trying to convince people of who they are when really they don't know who the hell they are either. And then let's not forget, because this formula is messed up, they're never receiving any kind of blessings. So, how frustrating is this? Talk about a big contributor to depression in the past because of failures and anxiety in the future because you've never taken responsibility to develop your sense of identity. And so, even saying that out loud, what it does is it confirms for me the process that I've put myself on. My identity has never been someone who has focused on personal development and getting better every day through a process. This process I'm putting myself through by making myself get better every morning, making myself get up, talk to the camera, explain myself, motivate myself, and hopefully communicate the process that I'm going through effectively enough so that other people can be like, hey, look, if he can do it, I can do it too. But please, please, today, main takeaway, develop your sense of identity. Once you know who you are, your actions will follow suit. These actions, these are the things that you need to do each and every day, your daily blueprint, your set of daily non-negotiable habits. These are the actions that flow from your identity. When this process is put on a chronological timeline and you repeat it long enough, you have no choice, no other option than to achieve your goal.